Huh. Well, that's certainly a talking point, isn't it? Yep. But anyway, we're here to talk about these skins, and we're trying to figure out how much they're likely to sell by next Thursday. So, yep, that's what we're here to do. There's the first 24 hours of sales. We will be comparing to these previous rush doors. Get a good look at them. And, yeah. Top selling skin, Moonlight Raider Garage Door. About 13,000 subscribers. But then again, I should point out I was about an hour late. I do apologise, but I don't think it could be that much different in terms of like 24 hours of sales. Horror Bed also catching up quite nicely, just under 12,000 subscribers. Hammer from Hell, I was pretty optimistic about that. That only did just over 11,000 subscribers. Whilst I sit here and say it's quite tame compared to the previous week, if it were like to be compared to a standard rush door from this year, it's still quite a lot. 17 skins in total. We do have a bit of a drop off with sales over down to the bottom parts here, but overall, still looking pretty sweet. So, okay, fair enough. All good. So, how's it look with the first 48 hours of sales? Because as of now, I am recording at a bit of a later time. I just hopped off from my stream. I was taking part in an escape room. I was trying to escape a very hard, like, puzzle sort of base. I was in there for about 2.5 hours and I just couldn't get out, so I had to run away. So, yeah, that's harsh. Looking at all these skins here, well, they have progressed quite nicely. Not too surprised to see with certain sales like the Moonlight Raider Garage Door. We'll be talking more about that in a bit, but I did say, you know what? A lot of these Rust players, they do happen to appreciate an anime Gale Garage Door and whatnot. But yes, Horror Bed, you're like an example of, well, with some of these skins, they're just too gimmicky for the season. Of course, you know, Halloween. And in general, by default, we do expect these skins to drop off regardless. They are seasonal skins, they're Halloween skins. And right now, technically, it's November 2nd. They're already out of season. And that is a concern. If you were to look at some of the skins from the previous week's Rust Door, of course, Halloween week 1, previous week, they've already started dropping off. Some of them are still holding up quite nicely, and I'll talk more about that in a bit, don't you worry, but yes. These very likely will drop off pretty quickly. Give it a month, the majority of them will be down pretty bad. So, okay, cool. That's very nice and optimistic, Mr. Hedge. Well, I'm just being realistic with you. Here's how it looks currently. Let's just refresh just to be a little bit more up to date. There you go. Perfect. So, let's go through all these skins, figure out how much they're going to likely sell by next Thursday, and then, of course, you know, question if they're still potentially be very nice investments, or, of course, could there be potential problems. Right then. I'm actually going to group up these two together. With the first 24 hours of sales, they were pretty close to each other. There's about 1,000 difference, but I think that'd be quite all right. It's more of a problem of there isn't really that much I can compare with. But the previous week's skins, Bone Cultist Garage Door, that had 11,700 subscribers, and it did progress quite nicely. So, if I were to use that as a nice comparison to these two skins, let's go see how much that sold. So, let's go over to here. And like I said, some of these skins have started dropping down in price. We shouldn't be surprised by that. But you should be surprised that these two are actually doing very nicely. Whilst that sold a decent amount, that did do 70,000 plus subscribers. Both of these have had buyouts, right? Now, talking more specifically about the Bone Cultist Garage Door, it's actually like doing very impressive. I'm kind of surprised, but then again, it's got Skell Alistair on there. You know, I did talk about how I couldn't really talk too much about it. Technically, I was involved, but with the wonderful works from Monstera and, of course, Mr. Uncle, they made a very cool looking garage door, and there's a reason why it sold a decent amount. If we didn't have the Ghost Furnace with its transparency, that very likely would have been the top selling skin. Well, right now it's a top selling skin because it's sitting here at $5, $5.65 to be more precise. But I should point out, look at how it's been behaving these past few days. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. And then when you look at this way, oh look, someone decided to buy out a massive stack of the stock. So it is looking a little bit interesting. However, at the moment, you could say it's pretty in demand. Give it another week or two, look at it, then know. Is it still holding up? Are there actual problems then? So anyway, that's looking pretty okay at the moment. But if that did 24,600 subscribers, what could happen with these two skins over here? Well, looking at the progress with the sales and whatnot, Moonlight Garage Door, I'm not too surprised. If you were to compare like to all the garage doors of the past, like somewhat recently, we did see the Popstar Garage Door. That keeps kind of going up and down around its Rust Door price. Whereas the majority of these garage doors this year, in fact, like pretty much every single one of them, they're down pretty bad. Like most of them down by at least a third. But this has kind of been bobbing up and down around its Rust Door price of $3. And if I could also remind you, we also happen to have the Mystic Tree Garage Door. That's been doing pretty good. So, oh, and of course, Neon Luna. But anyway, it's not looking pretty with garage doors this year because we've had an absolutely insane amount being accepted. We've already matched up to the record amount of acceptances, which was the previous year. We had 34 skins being accepted last year. This year, we've already matched up to that. We will surpass it. There will be another garage door being accepted this year. Come on now. Come on now. So, yeah, we just keep seeing far too many garage doors, and it is becoming a bit of a problem. But if you were to look at like the previous year skins, whilst they're in the exact same boat last year, look at them now. Most skins should be down pretty bad, but we have quite a lot of these in the positive. More specifically, which garage door? This was last year's very nice looking Halloween garage door. That did 43,000 subscribers. That is an absolutely absurd amount, isn't it? Yep. So if you think, oh, okay then, but that still worked out quite nicely. Well, can't we, assume the exact same thing? How come it looks like that? That's weird. What did I do? Go back over there. There you go. I think a lot of people will be looking at this and probably waiting until the last second, and then they'll do a bunch of purchases. Do remember though, November Force Wipe is next. Okay, and we're expecting an early rust rotation for that. November update, November rust door. You get the idea. So I think both of these two skins here are going to do between 23 to 27,000 subscribers. Now, with the special anime design, I think a lot of people will be jumping onto that, and I think it will do a decent job retaining most of its value, especially as we get closer and closer to post-Christmas, January 2026. Now, for Horror Bed, it's like a perfect example of it's a little bit too gimmicky for the season, Halloween, of course. Whilst this, of course, is a collection continuation to one of the most beloved skins we have in all of Rust, not these two. That's strangely being added. It's just this, the Horror Bag. That's now listed at $1,000. 10 years ago, we saw that Horror Bag. 10 years later, we see the Horror Bed. Next year, could we see more? It'll be nice. And whilst it glows in the dark ever so nicely and stands out very nicely, there will be more bed skins. The problem with this is that we recently saw the bed becoming skinnable. Let me tell you, there will be more bed skins. There will be more bed skins. I'll be incredibly surprised if we do not see a bed skin being accepted for November Force Wipe. So, okay. 23 to 27,000 subscribers. Hammer from Hell. So I was feeling pretty confident with this one. I thought they had a very good chance of potentially working out well, simply due to the scarcity of hammer skins being accepted in Rust stores. More specifically, a glow-in-the-dark design. Now, please, by all means, consider watching my Rust rotation video to get a good look at that. In fact, I have a short video showcasing this as well. I think they'll actually be doing a very good job of retaining its value. Somewhat recently, in recent Halloween Rust stores, we have seen some pretty cool-looking From Hell skins being accepted. So, last year we had the wooden double door. The year before that, I believe we had the rug. So that's in the positive still. And if I can find the rug, where's the rug? Where is the rug? I am completely blind right now. There it is. Yeah, that's still nicely in the positive. Like, people do appreciate the From Hell collection, but not every single skin works out perfectly. But if you were to look at all the hammer skins, I've already mentioned this in my predictions video, in my Rust rotation video, pretty much every single hammer skin is in the positive perfectly. I genuinely am thinking about probably buying about 1,000 of these. I can't afford that, but maybe 100, maybe 50. We'll see. We'll see how much money I have left. Anyway, so Hammer from Hell, you do look good. But what about your total sales? What are you going to likely reach up to? So if we could quickly switch back over to here. With the first 24 hours of sales, just over 11,000 subscribers, or rather 25. I looked around and I thought, you know what? It looks like it compares ever so nicely with the small cards box and the Olympus AK47. Now, you might recall, whilst this had a pretty decent lead initially, this actually overtook it. So, okay, how much do those two skins sell? Let's go ahead and find out. So, what was it, about 3 weeks ago? No, this one. Right, no. Well, oh, how far back were we? There we go. Right, couldn't find it. Olympus AK47, you reached up to just under 24,000 subscribers. And let me tell you, we might be seeing a handmade LMG pretty soon. Ooh. And a small cards box, you kind of settled at around 22,600 subscribers. Looking at both of these, and now quickly switching back over to here, looking at you. Look at the difference we saw with the 48 hours of sales. Several hours later, an extra 1,000 or so sales have happened. Alright, thinking about that, I think, you know what? This very likely will do between 21 to 24,000 subscribers. Now, if I were to just quickly compare all hammer skins, I just want to quickly find out what's the highest ever subscriber count we've seen for a hammer skin. I can confirm it's only 20,000 subscribers. That isn't that much. But again, look at all of these hammer skins. They're all in the positive. They are being appreciated. This is already 5th highest. But again, not surprising. And out of all of these here, yeah, I think only this one glows in the dark. I think that one does a bit, but this one, very noticeable. And I'm pretty sure a lot of builders would be greatly appreciating that. So 21 to 24, I don't think that's too bad. It's also abnormal. We could chase after that, get those early barders in, and then we can question afterwards, oh, does it look like it's going to be a nice skin that's going to retain its value? Could it be a nice investment to, buy straight from the rush store? I think it will be. So keep an eye out on Wednesday when we do the abnormal barders. Okay, cool. Right then. With the next skins, skins, I want to talk about the tier 3, the small box, and the sheet metal double door. So hopping back over to here, they were all somewhat similar. There is a bit of a drop off with the chest plate, but I had to kind of like automatically pair it up with the face mask. But okay, cool. Right then. So they had around 8,000 subscribers. Obviously, the chest plate's a little bit lower. What did I want to compare to? I thought, you know what? With the previous week, Spooky Fridge is probably a very good shout. So okay, cool. Let's go ahead and do a nice little comparison then. So right now, as you can see, it's not exactly holding up its value. Ooh. And it did 16,000 subscribers. So okay, cool. So if I were to look at the skins right now, look at the progress, so do a quick comparison. So here's the 48 hours of sales. Obviously, the face mask has overtaken the small box. So it did 11,500. Chestplate here, just over 10,000. Just about 11,000 here, just over 11,000 here. Look at it now. Oh, wow, that's a bit of progress, isn't it? Yep. So, 16,000 subscribers. You know what? I think all of these will be easily, comfortably going over 16,000 subscribers. Maybe this might be a little bit short, but yeah. I think tier 3, small box, sheet metal double door, 16 to 18,000 subscribers. So let's talk about, potential nice things. Unfortunately, with the Dr. Brainus tier 3, I can only see the chest plate working out quite alright, and this isn't like a big surprise. In previous rush stores, or rather previous Halloween rush stores, I have seen quite a lot of like Halloween theme zombie face masks, so it's very easy to notice. Let's just scroll down, look at the previous year. Do you notice how we have the zombie face mask there? Yeah, that's down in price. Scroll. Do you notice how we have the necro face mask right there? Yeah, that's down in price. Scroll. Did we not see one that year? No. Right, scroll. Do we see one this year? No. Okay. Oh, and there you go, Franken face mask. That's doing very well for itself. But unfortunately, with all those face masks, they kind of stood out a little bit too much. Their brains were exposed. It's all pink. People didn't care enough about them, unfortunately. But in some of those instances, the chest plates actually worked out very, very nicely. And this right here, you're going to need to see consider watching my rust rotation video, of course. Or consider keeping an eye out for a short video where I showcase this. But this is white. This is a white chest plate. And again, you're going to sit there and say, but Hedge, people don't really want to wear tier 3 in the snow biome. With all due respect, I acknowledge that, but you never know what Face Punch might do in the future. Some random enhancement for you to be able to wear tier 3 in the snow without an issue, or you never know. Tea, or I don't know, like something to insert into it. But anyway, with this only at $1, and after comparing it with the whiteout chest plate, I've got to sit here and say it does a pretty good job, and it costs about 7 times cheaper. So if I could just quickly showcase all of these in terms of highest price. Yep, 4th highest price, but this right over here, just the standard $1. As an extra budget option, it does work quite alright, but it does stand out a little bit weirdly. I will point that out. So maybe by default it'll just go down in price. We wouldn't be surprised by that. But both of these pieces here, they're not abnormal, so that might be a bit of a concern. But 16 to 18,000 subscribers, still be I'm pretty sure it's still a little bit too much. I would still be somewhat concerned, so okay. Face mask though, I don't have that much trust. Sorry to say. Sinister small box, you got a very cool looking design. Again, consider watching my rust rotation video to see it for yourself. The transparency in the bottom with the tongue sticking out, it looks really, really cool. And I think this is going to open the door to some very cool, very fun looking designs in the future. But anyway, looking at this, and also acknowledging that small boxes tend to be a little bit, yeah. Not so many of these are working out at the moment. But then again, with the storage collection right here, we do anticipate another box being accepted this upcoming Rust Tour, the November Foresight Rust Tour. T-box has been submitted. If that's accepted, I can't help but assume this is going to rebound and work out ever so nicely. Keep an eye on that, just saying. Looking at the previous year's skins, yep, some of them are doing okay, but not all of them. You are a Halloween skin, but you're not like super like gimmicky. It's not like it's like bright orange with pumpkins all over it and whatnot. Yeah, the anime girl garage door has pumpkins all over it, but it still has an anime girl on it. You're just a cute little pet. Will you actually hold up? I'm not sure. But you are fairly unique. But I'm sitting here like, well, for Lunar New Year, you could do like a fun like animal design for that, couldn't you? You could do. So props to Skin Creator. He could probably do something very similar for other sort of events in the future. Other seasons. But I'm still thinking with 16 to 18,000 subscribers, that's just still a little bit too much. And with it sitting here, sitting at $2, I think there's still likely to be some problems. Again, it might only drop off a little bit, like most Halloween skins would. Maybe it might be like a $1 barter, but it works out quite nicely in the future. We'll see, we'll see. Maybe we need like a large box sequel. We'll see. Now, in regards to sheet metal double doors, they tend to be very, 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 very reliable. So, had quite a few of these been accepted this year, and of course, lots of Twitch drops, lots of Twitch drops. They're not doing perfect, but this was kind of like the exact same behavior we saw last year of all of these skins. Now, pretty much every single skin here is in the positive, well, except that one, unfortunately, but these two specifically. Both of these were Halloween sheet metal double doors last year. They were not loved, they were not appreciated. Their prices dropped off. That did 16,200 subscribers, this did 16,500 subscribers, and this very likely will be selling more than both of them. Now, will you sit here and say, Grim Farm sheet metal double door looks nice? Because, with all due respect, yes it does. Along with all the other Grim Farm skins. However, in terms of, hey, is it very gimmicky towards, Halloween? Yes, very much so. It's got like the perfect scene for Halloween. Now, as we get close to Halloween next year, maybe it might rebound and slowly go up in price. Maybe we'll see a nice looking collection continuation. But I don't really expect like very, very nice things for this. And only from last year, I think I am going to be doing a lowball builder. Now, I'll probably do like a $1 builder. Yeah, it's less than half the price, but I don't really imagine it dropping off that much. It's a very cool, very nice looking glow-in-the-dark design. But then again, are people going to want to use like Halloween skins in Christmas time? Springtime or, Easter time? You get the idea. In the summer, maybe some people do, but I don't think the majority will. So in regards to what I see there, yeah, it's going to probably be like a $1 builder. If it's going to do between 16 to 18,000 subscribers. So, okay, cool, fair enough. Right then, well, what about all the other skins here? We're grouping up a lot of them. So, with the next batch of skins, I'm going to do the Tombstone bed with the Slime Monster clothes. So, yep, 6,700 subscribers, 6,300 subscribers. What could we compare with? We know what? I thought the previous week's, pumpkin boots was a good shout. 6,900 subscribers here almost. Yeah, I know, but it was the best thing I could compare to. So looking at the previous week's skins, let's see how they're currently holding up. Well, at the moment, they're slightly in the positive. As I said, maybe a lot of people are using these with the pumpkin armor collection. 15,000 subscribers. Interesting. So, hopping back over to here, looking at the current progress. So, there's a problem with these. Don't you worry, I'll talk about that, very thoroughly in a bit. With Tombstone bed, we've kind of already answered in regards to the problems with more bed skins on the horizon. But I can't help but assume, whilst this obviously is a Halloween-themed skin, it's like a pretty cool, just a nice ghastly coffin-themed design in general. Like, next year with Halloween, I won't be surprised if a lot of people use this for Halloween as a nice decorative design. Don't blame them. Looks awesome. But will people want to appreciate and use this during, the rest of the year? It literally says RIP. He just died. Ha ha ha. Perfect. But, it's pretty cool. But next year, next Halloween, I can imagine, a lot of people making some stone mausoleum designs and whatnot. So, you're looking awesome. But another bed skin, and we are expecting even more bed skins. This doesn't glow in the dark, just to clarify. It might look like it does, but it doesn't. Now, if you're going to do potentially around 15,000 subscribers, and honestly, I'll sit here and say 14 to 16,000 subscribers. Earlier today, you were here with 9,000 subscribers. Hopping back over to here, I can confirm right now you have, let's see here. Yeah, just under 10,000 subscribers. It progressed, but not too much. Yeah, I think 14 to 16,000 subscribers seems to be a very, perfectly fine amount. It will be the lowest selling bed skin so far, but so far, as I already said, there's definitely more beds on the horizon. Which ones will be accepted? Ooh, we'll have to wait and see. So, okay, fair enough. I can see a lot of positive things, but I still expect it to drop off. It is abnormal. We'll talk more about that Wednesday. By all means, do you like this design? In fact, which design do you prefer more? Horror bed or Tombstone bed? Feel free to comment below. Offer your own opinion. So, okay, that's looking pretty sweet. But Slime Monster hoodie and pants. Okay. So it's nice to see the collection continuation. Tier 2 greatly appreciated it. But there is still, a concern. So looking over to here, you might notice it pretty quickly. When this was in the rush store last year, after a full 7 days, it only did around 8,000 subscribers each. After just over 2 days, these have already surpassed them. Yep, the Slime Monster hoodie and pants have 9,000, pushing up to 10,000 subscribers. They've already surpassed the tier 2, and it is concerning. So by default, When it comes to clothing and armor pieces for a season, yeah, we go low. We got to do a low bombarder. Yep. But with the hoodie pants selling quite excessively in comparison to the tier 2, and again, 14 to 16,000 subscribers in comparison to 8,000 subscribers, yeah, that is a bit of concern. This very likely will be a 30-cent to 50-cent barter. As time goes on, over the course of the next year, 365 days, it will drop off about a month in. It'll get real cheap, but as time goes on, as we slowly get closer and closer to next year's Halloween, it very likely will slowly go up in price, especially within, in anticipation for Slime Monster Tier 3 or Boots and Gloves next year. And if we do see the collection continuation, it'll still bounce up in price. It's still to be expected. But Tier 2, in a very good, very interesting position now. So obviously it bounced up in price, and I don't blame you if you want to sell right now. But next year, if we see even more, I think that's going to go up even higher. And that very likely will be the lowest selling pieces out of the full set. So, okay, cool, fair enough. But yeah, hoodie and pants, it's not going to be something I'm going to buy. It's also not abnormal, so that's also a bit of a concern. But again, next week's rush store is expected to be early, so knowing that, you should be somewhat prepared. We'll see. Okay, cool, so understood, all good. With the other, batch of skins here, so I think we're doing a big group now. So looking over to here, yep. We have the Deer Skull and Poncho, the jacket, and the custom SMG. Just over 5,000 subscribers, just over 5,000, just under 5,000, just under 5,000. So somewhat very similar. And then you had the Poncho, it's a little bit less, but, still paired up with that. So, okay, cool. What could we compare to? What would be a nice thing to do a nice little comparison with? Well, if we go quite far back, Nuke Vibes are 4,600 subscribers. And then we also happen to have the Abyss M39, 5,400 subscribers almost. Okay. This would be the upper, this will be the lower. All right, then. Let's go find out how much these skins are likely going to sell. So if we could just quickly switch back over to here to the past, you'll see that the Abyss M39, it did just under 13,000 subscribers. And over to here, we happen to have the SAR. It had about 10,600, 10,700 subscribers. I think all the skins here, and again, especially considering this Poncho here, I think they're going to do between 10 to 13,000 subscribers. So, Dracula Sheep Matador. You're cool, you're wonderful, you're perfect for Halloween, but that's super gimmicky for Halloween, and I just can't help but assume it's going to drop off very quickly. Last year's Sheep Matadors, they haven't been, well, they weren't very, they didn't perform very nicely. Now, of course, one of them is an anomaly. One of them just so happens to be the Undead Door, we can't really count that. This dropped off real hard, this dropped off real hard, and it's still down pretty bad, down 60%. I can't help but assume this is just going to be like a 60-cent to 80-cent barter. Sorry to say, but yeah, it's going to drop off. It is going to drop off. It's also abnormal, so we can use that time to our advantage. Now, which Deer Skull? You very likely will be selling not that much, which is totally fine with me. Earlier this year, we saw the Rooster Mask with the Poncho. Now we have the Witch Deer Skull. Next year, we might see a collection continuation. We very likely could see like some leather gloves, some boots, who knows. But I still expect it to drop off. With potentially between 10 to 13,000 subscribers, along with the Poncho, of course. It's not that much, really. But I can expect quite a lot of people who do like throwing them on the Steam market and whatnot. I mean, again, all clothing and armor in general, we do expect it to drop off pretty badly. But again, the possibility for more next year collection continuations, yeah, we've been through this before. We expect it. So, okay, yeah, it will be local borders. Yeah, it should still be all right to a point. We expect it to drop off. We'll figure out a decent price. Now, Pumpkin Jacket, if you're going to do between 10 to 13,000 subscribers, that's perfection. So, unfortunately, the full collection isn't seen here, but it is over here. So, yep, get a look at that. Tier 2 was accepted a few years ago. 12,500 subscribers-ish. The hoodie and pants, just under 12,000 subscribers. The gloves, 6,400 subscribers. But the jacket, you're going to slot in perfectly with most of the set here. That's fine. We like that. We're not going to complain. And hopefully next year, maybe, well, wouldn't surprise me if the skin creator considers doing tactical gloves with boots. Or, of course, tier 3. So we'll see how that goes. But if we do see a collection continuation next year, it's in a very, very interesting spot. Ghost Halloween Custom SMG, well, yeah, I don't really expect that much with it. Some people have sat here and said, Hedge, this glows in the dark. No, it has very good night light. It doesn't glow in the dark. It is expected to go down in price, like all the others from recent years. So, yeah, if you assumed it glowed in the dark, it doesn't. I assure you that, all right? So, sorry to say, but yeah, I don't really expect that much. And I do expect, there'll be a 60-cent to 80-cent barter. Sorry to say, but yeah, it's kind of like expected. Yeah. Right. So, with that, let's now move on and talk about the Frankenstein AK47. So, hopping back over to here, 4,000 subscribers. What's a good thing to compare to? We'll just go to previous week. Surgeon Hat, very similar. Oh, okay. Now, I do believe that Surgeon Hat had around 8,000 subscribers. And I can confirm, yep, just under. So, 8,000 subscribers for an AK-47, that's going to just drop off. Well, yeah. Sorry to say, but like, this is just a standard AK. Perfectly befitting for Halloween. Not going to complain, but it doesn't really have like a super flashy style. Doesn't have a transparent aim sight or anything. Like, Olympus AK-47 came out, did some very decent sales. It's down by about 40% almost. Now, fingers crossed we see a collection continuation. Handmade LMG. But I'm sorry to say, but most, well, pretty much every single Halloween AK-47 we've seen come out in the past. Oh, yeah, that's very likely to go down the price. That very likely is just going to be a 60 cent to 80 cent barter. So, yeah, sorry to say. But yeah, you're very likely going to do between 7,000 to 9,000 subscribers. So, I don't really expect much. Sorry to say, it's just going to get lost in the shuffle. And that's like terrible for an AK-47. But now, we have the Creep Miner Hat. And I hope you appreciated the short video I uploaded today. Consider giving it a good watch. Right then, so in my predictions video, I honestly just couldn't figure out where I was going to position this in terms of how confident I felt about it. Clearly, it was the lowest selling skin, and well, let me just show you the first 48 hours of sales. This only about did 3,350 subscribers. That's nothing. Like, this is definitely going to be the lowest selling miner hat compared to all the recent ones that are accepted. So, yes, predictions, normally I put them in order in terms of chapters for what I feel most confident with. But Creep Miner Hat, I just couldn't figure it out. Like, it's in a very interesting spot, considering it's going to sell a very low amount, and it's a very weird, strange looking design. Now, if you're a Creep fan, by all means, comment below, show your support. And again, consider watching the rust rotation video to get a good look at it. Consider watching this 1-minute clip with the music if you so want to. But yes, it's a pretty cool, very strange looking design. I'm not sure if we're going to see like another miner hat being accepted anytime soon, especially considering that it was the focused item of the month for October. It's now November. Focused item of the month for November is the L96. So, I mean, we'll see, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see at least one more. Okay? Wonder how much that's going to sell. But in regards to, like, well, what do we think? Is the price actually going to hold? What's it even going to compare to? So, the best I could do was the Pixel Wooden Double Door from quite some time back. That only had 2,700 subscribers. Let's go all the way back. It only reached about 6,000 subscribers. And lost my tongue there. And if we look at this right now, it's only still got 3,600 subscribers. I'm under the impression it's not going to actually get close to 6,000. Now, maybe it might change. Again, me highlighting the fact that it isn't selling that much, and it's a very strange, very unique idea. I mean, maybe it might get a little bit of a boost. But I think that's only going to do between 5,000 to 6,000 subscribers. So, what do we think? You know, that is abnormal. It is selling for $2. It's a bit of a high price, especially with the recent miner hats. But incredibly low sales, very susceptible to manipulation. And I actually might go ahead and buy a few of these. I'm very curious to see how it turns out. Maybe it just drops off. Oh, damn. But then again, we have had a lot of miner hats being accepted recently. Maybe you might see a lot of people just getting worried about it instantly and trying to flog it. But do keep in mind, with all the recent miner hats, these did sell a ridiculous amount, and it ended up being troublesome for them. This only did 8,000 subscribers, and it's doing pretty sweet at the moment. Did sell for $1.49, somewhat closer to that. This kind of bobs up and down. It's obviously 92 cents now, but that might be like 2 listings below its rust price. This is looking interesting, but it's going to be more of a thing we discuss on Wednesday night. So, again, offer your opinions. Do you think it looks goofy, funny, silly? Do you like it? Do you appreciate it? Do you hate it? Comment below. But it is in a very, very interesting spot. So, okay, yeah, that's pretty much everything. It was a bit of a yapping session, but 17 skins, I do apologise. Right then, so, is there anything to talk about? Yeah, maybe, oh, yeah. So, I have asked around, and, well, basically, this is something we should probably be expecting a lot more of in the future. No longer is it just Twitch drops, it's also Kick drops. Now, please, if you want to get these brand new kick drops, you do need to set up a kick account, all right? And it's going to be quite convenient because now you can watch a Twitch stream and this at the same time, and you'll still get progress without an issue. So, okay, cool. But you should expect the exact same behavior like what we've seen with the Twitch drops. Only one at a time. As you might notice, quite a lot of these, yes, they're not visible yet. Now, unfortunately, quite a lot of people have actually figured out how to identify what they are. I won't say anything, but they have technically been leaked. I'm sure they're going to be revealed properly soon. Keep an eye on Twitter. You'll find out who's going to be taking part in this event because it's an actual like Twitch Rivals-esque event. There's going to be an actual competition. It's basically called, what was it? Kickoff. So, what I'll do is I'll link this, kick.facepunch.com. It'll be in the description. And also, I'll link this, the rustkickoff.com website. I'll link it in the description. This is actually going to be like a big competitive event. There's going to be multiple teams, like all the details are right here. Now, the Twitch drops, they're going to take place between the 13th of November to the 23rd of November, which you can see right there. Yep. But the actual event here, this is going to happen between the 13th to the 16th. You can even see on this section here, there's going to be like 10 teams. You'll see the rosters fairly soon. Keep an eye on Twitter, you'll find out who's taking part. I'm pretty sure it's all going to get revealed. But yes, the Twitch drops, you have to make sure you have a Kick account set up, okay? Much like how with Twitch drops, you'd have to get, a Twitch account. Now, in the further future, could this happen again? More Kick drops? I wouldn't say no, but nothing's been officially confirmed as of yet. You also might say, are they going to do drops which you can get on both Twitch and, Kick at the same time? Nothing's been confirmed yet, but that would be pretty cool. So feel free to comment below your thoughts in regards to that. So, okay. Wonder if there's any other sort of platform you can get drops on. Maybe YouTube. We'll see. Anyway, so, okay, cool. So 4 general drops are right here. We have a rock, that's fine. We have a furnace, that's fine. We have an armored double door, that's pretty cool. And it looks like it has transparency based on what I see there. And a green hazmat. What? For free? Yeah. 8 hours of your time. 8 whole hours of your time watching anyone streaming Rust on Kick. To make sure I don't say Twitch there. Kick. You can get that green hazmat for absolutely free. What? So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yep. I can't show this off, unfortunately, until it actually is released. It's not like a skinnable. Hazmats, you can't just say, hey, can I get this skin of this? I have to wait until I actually get it, and then I'll be able to showcase it. So, of course, you're going to want to see, like, the Kick drops for November 2025, a lovely showcase. But unfortunately, I can't, I don't have access to the skins yet. I've seen what they are, but I don't have access to them yet. So, the second I do, I'll be able to showcase all of them to the best of my ability so they can get a good look at all of them. I really do want to go ahead and showcase this. What I might do is I might have like a special dedicated video showcasing how good this is as green camouflage. A green hazmat. Well, technically speaking, it's the first ever like special drop hazmat skin we've ever seen. So, okay, I'm not going to complain. Some people have said, how come we never got the Twitch hazmat? Maybe we might see it now. Maybe that might be December, because don't forget we have a Twitch Rivals event taking place in December this year. Well, next month. We'll see. Why not? So, okay, cool. But don't forget, hazmats potentially could become skinnable in the future, and you might get like special streamer, like Twitch drops hazmats. So, we'll see. What might we see here? Comment below. What would you absolutely adore to see become a Twitch drop? And if you already know what they are, don't be a smart ass, alright? So anyway, cool. That'll be kicking off in like just under 2 weeks. Lovely stuff. So yeah, make sure you get yourself a Kick account, connect it with your Steam account, everything will work perfectly fine. Like, if you've paired up your Twitch account with a Steam account and got Twitch drops and whatnot before, super easy. It's basically the exact same website, you just had to connect to a Kick account. Cool. And if you're wondering, was there signs of this event taking place? No. We knew nothing. Okay? Facepunch did a very, very good job keeping this secret until now. But they officially revealed it like a few hours ago. And yeah, there you go. So, cool. Again, what are your thoughts? Do you like it? Are you impressed? And what could we see being, a brand new drop in the future? We'll just have to wait and see. Now, aside from this, is there anything else that we should discuss, address? Well, I mean, like, I guess you could sit here and take a look at my brand new Art of Rust video. It's pretty nice and comfy. Lots of very cool creative things. So technically speaking, Sunday evening, yep, maybe just several hours later, based on the time that you're watching this video, around 8 o'clock my time, UK time. Look in the description. You'll see the links to my, of course, my Twitch right there. And you could come and watch me as we explore all the awesome Halloween builds, the October tour, and the Art of Rust. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome. Lots of very cool designs have been made. As I said, I just got trapped in an escape room for 2.5 hours. It's horrible. So, okay, cool. So, yep, looking pretty cool, looking nice. And, yeah, that's also looking pretty awesome. But, of course, from here and now that we're in November, we anticipate Christmas. Have you already invested into Christmas skins? If you have, good job. If not, well, you might be too late perhaps, we'll see. But if you're wanting to have like a lovely Christmas theme base and you don't have any skins yet, I would definitely recommend you look now. They will go up in price. Let me tell you, there's a lot of people like me that are fully well aware that these prices tend to go up ever so nicely around, what, the end of November, rolling into December. So, you've been warned. You've been warned, so consider looking for those Christmas skins now if you feel the need to do so. And yeah, we anticipate prices improving. If we do see collection continuations in the Christmas Rust stores, and let me point out, December 25 is a Thursday. Are we going to have a Christmas Rust store on Christmas Day? We'll wait and see, but yeah, we'll see. But yes, if we do see collection continuations, you should expect those skins to spike in price ever so nicely. But much like what we talked about with the Halloween skins today, Christmas skins will behave pretty much the exact same way. So, yeah, just a little heads up, but we can still look forward to things. All right then, so that's pretty much everything. Player count has improved very, very nicely. Look at the difference we've seen with October compared to September. November's had it's got a pretty good start, but we don't have the naval update for November this month. So, bit of a shame, but hey, it being pushed back to December isn't too bad of a thing. We are expecting some interesting changes, a bit of a sequel to what we saw with the meta shift. We've got Pivot or Die. But yeah, interesting things ahead of us with the November 4 swipe, but not huge content. We'll see how it goes. But of course, with this brand new kick event, maybe people are going to be very curious. And then, of course, Twitch rivals in December. Things might be lining up quite nicely. Don't forget, we also get like those random Christmas Twitch drops as well. Watch anyone streaming Rust between like 2 weeks and then, oh look, there you go, loads of free Christmas skins. Do you remember the white clothing we got, the white hide clothing we got last year for free? Well, maybe we'll see that happen again. So right then, that's pretty much everything. So best of luck to you and your investments, and have fun with the remainder of the Halloween batch. And abnormals this Wednesday. Got to be nice and prepared for it. Prices are expected to get real low, but how low will it go? We'll have to figure that out. I do apologise if I was a bit lethargic today. It is late. I haven't slept properly yet, so we're going to go ahead and do that in a bit, don't you worry. But of course, we'll upload this video, and it'll be nice and ready for you tomorrow. So, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for watching me. God, good job, Hedge. Thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck to each and every single one of you. Have a lovely weekend. A lovely week next week. And slowly, we get closer and closer to Christmas. Let's have fun.